Last night, it came out as people tried to hold off as long as they could. But even MSNBC had to concede that McAuliffe had lost to Youngkin, the Virginia governor's race, and that pissed a lot of people off. But what does that show? Okay. It shows that there was a big hot topic issue that Youngkin just ran with. And that was the public education system, which is more of a cultural thing, right? It's been used as a indoctrination camp for the state. It's the propaganda wing of the state in some cases, and the indoctrination wing. But he really hammered that home, and it resonated with a lot of people out there, and they went and did whatever it is that they did, okay? Now, this isn't me telling you who to vote for and all this other dumb shit, right? No. That's not where I'm going with this. All I'm saying is that it shows that that is a hot topic issue that matters to a lot of people, right? The Democrats deployed all of their usual tactics. No, this is just what only racist white people want, and this is an example of this and this and that, right? Nobody cares about this type of shit. It's culture war. It doesn't even exist. Well, you're seeing that it is a real thing, and even the more neocon, boomercon conservative had to concede exactly that, okay, that this is a hot topic cultural issue, and you can resonate with people in any geographical area by making this on the top of your list of things to prioritize. Okay, that is the message to take from this. And what I'm going to do here is actually show you a post, because this is the main talking point that I want to take from this. Let's do this, because, you know, I think people are going to get the wrong idea about this, so I want to make sure we hammer that home. But this was the post that I made last night and what this showed. Okay, let me, where is it at? Right here. I said, Virginia shows that there is an awakening regarding the connection with public education and indoctrination. But I fear, and this is the talking point for this segment, I said, but I fear chicken shit Republicans will get in the way and advocate for milquetoast policies that don't actually address the problem. What you don't want to happen is another Betsy DeVos situation. That really in terms of what y'all thought she was about, she didn't do a goddamn thing. And this is where a lot of Republicans get in the way, because they protect the status quo, right? I said the time for abolition is now, okay? Ooh, abolition, that term that y'all don't like to use because it's just unrealistic to get rid of this archaic K through 12 public education system. And instead, we just need to reform it. No. How about this? This is my idea. They cease to exist. All the teachers that work for these institutions and these administrators are forced to get real jobs, and the entire educational system is marketized. The taxes regarding that pay for this, be it through property taxes or whatever, those are kept in the hands, not rerouted, kept in the hands of the people that was stolen from, that you are currently stealing from. Therefore, with their own goddamn money, they spend on whatever regarding the education system. No monopolization of it. No Department of Education. No propping certain institutions up that don't need to be there. None of that. Just completely marketized. Now, on the other side, education will look like a way that you couldn't even envision it, right? They'll say, oh, the poor people, how would they be able to pay for it? First of all, I don't know where the fuck you got the idea that education in this sense, definitely like if you consider people that homeschool and you guys have friends and you got family that homeschool, and half of them ain't even fucking rich. In fact, a lot of them are the lower classes, and they found out a way. A lot of your parents did that. My grandma didn't even go to fucking college and was a goddamn teacher. Considering the era that she grew up in. They wouldn't allow that. She was black. Seriously. It will not. It's archaic. It's nonsense. Definitely in the digital information age where you can click a button and get the information. This is archaic nonsense, and all it's done, as you've seen in the last year, as these Democrats and leftist progressives got way too cocky. You have seen that. Wait a minute. This is just an indoctrination camp, right? I continued on. I said, when everybody is paying attention, you push for the solution, and that is the solution. It's not to reform it, because I tell you what, and this includes Youngkin. If these guys take what happened in Virginia and then they start using their efforts to like focus on solely on trying to get like their guys instilled in these positions to try to remold public education, he's a fucking hack, and you need to run away from him. Because that is nothing but a person that is protecting the status quo. That's it. He's not doing what needs to be done. I said you advocate for 100% and you take 50 if you get it. This is what the leftists have done a great job of. Leftists never stop in their push for whatever it is. Absolute socialism, I guess, is what a lot of them want. This is why I like, I was ragging on red flag laws. I rag on these eye patch Republicans and even your previous president. It was not just a bump stock ban, which was just misassessment of what that actual executive order was far more destructive than that, right? When you can just put in a fucking attachment on a weapon and it can be deemed as a machine gun, and then it means that you have basically become a felon. What did Donald Trump gain from that? Oh, he just needed to do it to shut the left up. Oh, wait a minute. The left hasn't shut the fuck up about trying to ban guns, have they? No, they haven't stopped, because that's not how they operate. They'll take it if you give it to them, if it moves in their direction, but they never stop advocating what it is that they want. This is why you pay attention to, if just because they pay lip service to a lot of this stuff. Republicans do this all the time. They pay lip service to this stuff does not mean they want an actual solution. I said, but you don't push for 50% for the sake of bullshit, pragmatism, and incrementalism. Red flags immediately. When I say, okay, we need to do this, this, and that, and immediately someone says that's not realistic. No, you're in the way. You're in my way. You're in my way, right? Because I already know all you're doing is trying to protect the status quo. I also said, the public education system is a rotten, archaic mess that does not need to be reformed. It needs to be eliminated, along with the taxes that fund it. Allow parents to keep the money and marketize the entire system. See, what happens is so many people look at public education through the lens of what already exists. This is the unlearning that a lot of you guys have to do, right? Because you say, well, so-and-so can't afford because it's glorified daycare for a lot of you guys. They can't afford to homeschool, be it in time or monies. They can't afford to private school because they think all private schools cost $20,000 a year or some shit. But that's looking at it through the lens of what exists now. Even the private market, in a lot of senses, is heavily regulated and has to follow certain curriculum guidelines that set to be basically able to exist as a legitimate form of education. No. I'm advocating that all of that shit be eliminated. Red tape and all be eliminated. There is no legitimate form of education. The market completely decides that. So you have absolutely no idea. If you think coming out of that, right, well, you don't have the state propping up these institutions, right, stealing money from people that they don't have to earn to pay teachers that ain't worth a goddamn and union folk. No. If that doesn't exist, it will be far more cheaper. And there will be far more cheaper options. And there'll be options that even I can't see because the market is, there's a lot of people who claim to be conservative and they like capitalism and they don't understand why it is that we advocate that, right? I'm not a conservative, I'm a libertarian, but you get what it is that I'm saying. They don't understand why capitalism is the preferable economic deal, right? Because obviously it's based on these ethicists of morals and ethics that, or voluntarism in that case. But just because you can't envision how a world will operate or how something would operate does not mean that it can't, right? markets are better suited to dictate how efficiently resources are placed, as opposed to some, I don't know, handful of fucking bureaucrats deciding what everybody must do, right? That is an impossible feat for them to do, yet we pretend as if this is a realistic thing. So if anything, you're advocating the unrealistic thing, that you think that the state should be able to maintain control over these institutions and then teach everybody's kids. And if you just get the right people there, no. You don't seem to understand. You can't dictate what some parent or groups of parents feel as is more or less legitimate. You can't possibly dictate. So the best possible answer here is for them to be able to keep the money and decide for themselves what institution they want, taking their money elsewhere, right? That is realistic as all get out. And the people that say that it's unrealistic are nothing but the people that are protecting the status quo. And they don't actually want a solution. They don't want a solution. The time to push for this is now. So many people are paying attention to it. See, the person that, and this is why I keep saying that they protect the status quo, because this is what happens. It's like what happens with Obamacare. What happened with Obamacare, right? You push for it. They push for it, right? They get it. They get it in some form or fashion, even if it's a dumbed down version of that, right? And then you get a lot of people that are paying attention to this and want it eliminated, right? And then instead of getting it eliminated, instead of getting it out of the way, you get like a repackaged version of it because the status quo was protected, right? The time to push for its elimination and abolition is when it's a hot topic. That's when you do it. Okay? You don't do it with, okay, well, we'll push for this pragmatic bullshit and then we'll get that. No. That pushes the conversation back another fucking 20 years. Maybe more. Because what happens is like, oh, well, we had this change, right? Change. And now we have to let that come up and come into fruition instead of pushing when we had everybody paying attention. We had all these concerned parents finally understanding that it's nothing but an indoctrination camp. That was the time to push for the solution right there. So right now, people are, you see this whole an entire election was flipped on its head, and one's even closer out there in New Jersey, flipped on its head by focusing on this issue, right? You do not push for a milquetoast pragmatic in the name of pragmatism. Then, so this is my message to both the Youngkin types or anybody else that's having this conversation now, because now he's going to be, of course, expected to deliver. Watch his language, watch what he does. Watch what it is what he advocates. If he is talking that shit about, oh, well, we just got to get my guys in these positions of power instead of eliminating the power altogether and putting the power in the hands of the individuals, so the teachers and the students, that motherfucker sold y'all out. And he ran on a topic that would have made y'all, that was really important to y'all. And he's giving you a solution that's not actually that. Instead, all it does is protect the status quo and what already exists. And that's what so many Republicans do right now, and they have historically done, because you can best your bottom dollar that the minute you push for the actual solution, right, the liberty, the people that value some sort of freedom, right, definitely economically, when you push for the solution that represents that, you can best believe there's some little milquetoast shithead Republican that comes in the way and says, no, that's not realistic. We can't do that. No, we just need to, have our guys there. No. You don't seem to understand the problem is with the institution in itself. And it's archaic. And it doesn't, well, first of all, it's like based off a prison system, and they're trying to, if anything, either you call it a prison, it kind of operates like a prison, these public schools, with, at minimum, they're trying to build up these little loyal soldiers, right? That needs to be gotten rid of completely. That's your solution. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.